Hello everybody, this is Yvonne for Yvonne's Love Stream Walks, Friday the 29th of May. Just saying hello. I think I have 4 people who've joined already. Coming on in, and here I am, very near Sanquhar Pond. So who have we got? We've got Diane, Susan, Alice, already back in Fremantle, and I'm very close to Sanquhar Pond. Just a little preview, the swans are swimming. There's only one cygnet, so they were out in the middle of the pond, so I thought I'd leave them till the end when they might be nearer to the edge and we'd be able to have a better look at the little cygnet. But you know, there were 5 eggs, so it's sad, but it is what it is. Anyway, isn't this a glorious archway here? I think some of you will know exactly where I am. And we're going to just wander along here for a while and then head back to the pond. And today we're walking with the quality of acceptance. It makes me think of the mother swan, actually. She doesn't have any choice but to accept the situation. When there's nothing to be done, acceptance is the only thing. And I guess the opposite to acceptance is resistance. And we all know where that gets us. Absolutely nowhere. So here I am walking along, about to enter the birthing canal. And just wondering how you're doing. And who's out there other than Alice, Susan and Diane. And it's blowing a bit of a hoolie here. It's 20 degrees centigrade, but there's sort of a wind that makes it a bit chillier. Yesterday I was out on the sandbanks in 25 degrees with no wind, so that was much better. Anyway, here are the tangled rhododendron that Maggie says is upsetting the native plants. But let's go through and sort of think, okay, what are we wanting to birth at the moment as we go through this gorgeous undergrowth here. I think children would love to play in here. It's like a little cubby house, isn't it? So I can see that you're watching. Nobody's made a comment as yet, so I'm just checking that the comments are working. I hope they are. And so many birds around, which is beautiful. But yeah, we're so close to summer now. So close to summer. And since last Sunday, it's been quite lovely here and felt quite summery. Some lily pads over there. Still no comments. It's not so easy when I can't interact with you, but let's keep going. And I want to apologize last week when the signal stopped. When the signal stopped working, and the live stream ended so abruptly without a goodbye from me. And I think Diane hasn't been able to put that on YouTube because it ended in an unusual manner. So I apologize for that. Hello, Tom. I see you've come on. I said earlier the swans are going to be at the end because they were out in the middle of the pond and too difficult to see, really. And there's just one little cygnet. And we're walking with the quality of acceptance. And I don't think I'm seeing any comments. And also I have to apologize because I woke up the other night thinking, I think those beautiful purple trees I was talking about last week, I think I was calling them lavender when in fact they're lilac. And I went back and listened to the live stream, and sure enough I was calling them lavender, and the lavender is not out yet. They were lilac bushes, and nobody corrected me, so I'm correcting myself. And here's another bench for us all to sit on. And the park is alive with people at the moment for the Rise Dance Festival, Festival of Contemporary Dance. And this year it's welcoming lots of Indigenous people. There's a group of Australian Aboriginals. I'm going to see their performance Sunday night. There's somebody from the Mohawk tribe of North America, a Colombian lady, many others as well. So and there's lots of people around. The only sad thing was the cafe was absolutely heaving this morning, and their card machine wasn't working, and so everybody was needing to use cash. And of course I use cash all the time, but young people today, I don't think they know about the existence of cash. And the shop's machine broke also. So it was a little bit of a crisis. I hope it worked out okay. Hi, Bonnie. I'm just saying again, I'm not seeing any comments today. And Facebook does that from time to time. Hello, Lida. Yeah, so we're walking very close to Sanquhar Pond, and we're going to end up there. But we're walking with the quality of acceptance. And I was just apologising for the abrupt ending last week. And also a reminder that the Zoomers are Zooming on the 10th of June. Just to put that in your diary. And I heard, I don't know whether I said this last week, I don't think so. This phrase that we have here that Peter Caddy used to say, is it good enough for God when you do a job? I mean, I was always taught if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing properly. Is it good enough for God is another way of putting that, I guess. Yeah, gosh, there is an abundance of this particular colour of rhododendron out at the moment. I think they've all come bursting into life in the warm weather. We just like have a nice up close. I say this over and over. Hello, Maggie, apologies to you for these beautiful rhododendron that are not native. And there's an awfy lot of them, as they say. Oof, a bee just came into focus then. It's a lovely little alleyway we've just come through. And up there there's a sort of mixture of pink and purple, which I think is quite fetching, really. But the comments are not showing today, so perhaps they'll come up later. And then there's this lovely, more wild mixture of the white and the bluebells. Still a lot of bluebells in the field. And another little sort of salmony pink one over there. Yeah, so it's a shame I'm not getting any comments. I keep getting told who's watching, but nobody's interacting. I'm sure you are interacting, by the way, but look, just let's do that again. It's so lovely to go through these little tunnels with you. And the ivy on the tree. And this quality of acceptance in a world where we don't really want to accept much of what's happening, but there isn't any point in not accepting it. There's a wonderful guy called Lee Harris, who's English, he channels an intelligence called the Z's, ZS, the Z's. And he was saying the other day, you know, no matter what's happening in the world, the mission is still the same, to raise consciousness. You don't stop doing that because there are disastrous situations. In fact, it's more important than ever to keep raising consciousness. He says we need to live with presence, gratitude, and a reverence for life, no matter what. And that we create our own vibrational reality. So we can be responsible for that, even if we feel quite disempowered generally. So what's your vibrational reality, I wonder? And he says, and I agree with him, that there are forces out there that are trying to herd us into smaller lives, more restricted lives. Lives that they say where we'll own nothing and be happy. And he says, you know, that's one thing that we shouldn't accept, I guess. Definitely don't accept that one. And the interviewer asked Lee Harris what he thought the meaning of life was. What was life about? Oh, look at this lovely fern here. And Lee sort of said, wow, that's a hard question. Woo! Can you feel that life energy moving? And he said, to live, to love, to be present, and to evolve. So that's as good a summing up as any, I think. Gorgeous ferns. To live, to love, to be present, and to evolve. And to listen to those birds. I know that Eileen and Peter and Dorothy, the three founders, they all talked about vibrational energy. And Eileen used to make many, many omelettes and fresh salads from the garden. And she said that eating that sort of food definitely raised their vibrations. Anyway, I'm really sorry that I can't interact with you because no comments are coming through. I hope they all come up when I go onto my computer. But I'm going to wander back the way from whence we came and just get it from another angle. And in Eileen's book, Opening Doors Within, when we reach June, next Monday, she talks about a very big, heavy door with rusty hinges, and she says it just needs a few drops of oil and the hinges will give way, the door will open easily. And she says that's the power of the oil of love. I'm just going to walk over here for you to see this beautiful greenness. You wouldn't know that we're, in forests. We're in a town, quite a large town, with these depths of woods. I mean, the high school, Forest Academy, is just on the other side of those trees. Although I think they're on holiday at the moment, or half term or something like that. Beautiful space. Yeah, and Eileen tells us to think abundance in everything. Don't concentrate on lack, or that's what we'll attract. She tells us that all the time. Or the guidance comes through her that tells us that. Anyway, even though I can't speak with you, really, I hope you're all well down there in the southern hemisphere as winter slowly comes on, or at least the days are shortening, even if the temperatures aren't getting much less. And to those of you watching the recording out there, and a reminder that once these videos or live streams, love streams, get taken off Facebook after 30 days, you can find them on the YouTube channel that Diane set up. Except I think last week's did not get on there because of the way it ended abruptly. Yeah, so Eileen says, think abundance and also approach life with expectancy. Expecting wonderful things rather than a sort of doom and gloom outlook. Expect wonderful surprises, expect miracles, expect things to turn out perfectly, although that may be not what you planned. Now here is where we started, which is a rather glorious archway. And she says there's nothing we can't do if we have the confidence that we can do it. And I think I said I put on my Facebook page today, what would you be doing if you had the confidence to do it? She says, don't live within your limits. Go beyond them. So what would we be doing? What would each of us be doing if we were living beyond our limits? I know what I'd be doing. I'd be creating a program of my own to hold here at Findhorn in person. Maybe a retreat-like one or something else. What would I hold? What sort of people would I bring together? And to do what? But I noticed the urge to create something that can be for the benefit of others, for the benefit of evolution, the evolution of consciousness. What could I offer? So now the path is broadening and we're nearing the pond itself, known in Clooney days as Swan Lake. And also Joy Drake. I don't know whether Rebecca Lynn is on today. I know she's always liked Joy Drake's soul infusions, but Joy's holding something this week, only in person, I think, and she says, let us rest on the thermals of love. Oh, I love that. You know, as summer comes and there are these warm thermal winds, let us rest on the thermals of love. And she just said, I want to welcome the sweetness and strength that's emerging in the flowering heart of the community here. And I think the walk we did together last week around the park, 2 weeks in a row, but last week's particularly as we ran into all these community people, it just was lovely. And there is something flowering for sure. Now I can see one swan, but I can't see the mother or the little baby. Now, where might they have gone? There is quite a gathering of seagulls here today. And I love watching the ducks. They are so cocky, ducks. They're very cocky. They strut around. And, okay, Mr. Swan, where's your other half? Hello, Julie. I've just been saying that the comments are not coming through, so it's difficult. You just get sick of the sound of my voice blethering on. But yeah, sorry I can't answer questions or comment on your comments. I will reboot Facebook after this walk. Anyway, I'm going to go in search of the swan along here. This is where they were earlier. Yeah, so going back to Joy Drake, she's inviting us to step into a more expanded, luminous version of ourselves. What a lovely word luminous is. Feel the radiance and the light, but it's a sort of see-through light. Hello, Mr. Swan. Ah, Mr. Swan, I promised my Fellowship of Lovelies to see your baby, and unless they're hiding up here where the nest was originally, let's go and check it out. Diane is getting very close to moving, a couple of weeks now. Julie, you've got a couple of weeks before you're in Findhorn. Ah, I see the swan. She's over here. I can just see her head above the reeds. And I wonder what else is going on in your lives. I went away for a few days hiking. I saw the castle that was supposedly the inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula over on the east coast. Ah, there, look. There's the swan. And this, can you see the little baby there? Look. I'm sure you're all making clucking noises. A little scene of domestic bliss here. But only one cygnet out of 5. But it is lovely to see the renewal of life. Just watch them for ages. And also, do you know, there's so much going on in the calendar. If you go on to visit ecovillagefindhorn.uk, so much on the calendar. There's even Scotland's first shamanic practitioner conference, the 15th to the 20th of September. And the 5th of September is the Sacred Dance 50th anniversary at Findhorn event as well. So that's a lot happening way off in September. And the second experience week is happening, I think it starts the 6th of June. There's an Italian group coming. There's a Findhorn garden week. Oh, we've got some ducks here as well. But very beautiful to see the graceful neck of the swan. Yeah, so there's lots happening. Maybe we can entice you here. And the box scheme from Cologne Garden, I'm so pleased that Cologne is on the up and up. The first box is coming on the 4th of June. So I have to find out what they've actually managed to grow yet. And also, some of you will remember, if you've worked in Cologne, Julia Pittem is now doing the admin for Cologne, and Evet, the lovely Dutch man, he's the new assistant gardener. So that's fabulous. Well, I think that's enough of the cygnet and the swan, and we'll just head back this way slowly now that I've zoomed in a little bit. Anyway, I'm sorry that I haven't been able to interact with you all. I've just seen people watch. I think every time it comes up that somebody is watching, it means you've tried to send a comment. So I guess I leave you with the homework today of living life in an energy of expectancy, and to be seeing abundance in everything. And sort of think, I guess, somewhere somebody said to me recently that criticism is a form of war. If we're going to criticize people, tear people down, it's a form of war. And that got me thinking, really. I'm going to think more carefully before I say things. Anyway, I think as of today, the sun is rising at, I think, maybe 4:15 in the morning or something. And it's setting at 10 o'clock tonight, I think. And it's only, 3.5 weeks till solstice. That gets scary then. Then the nights start drawing in. But we're not there yet. I'm going to live with an energy of expectancy and abundance. And remember, if you could write in the messages, I'd want you to tell me what you would do if you were living beyond what you perceive your limits to be. Good question for me as well. What would I be doing if I was living beyond my limits? I can just see the other swan swimming into view there. So I think I'll leave you here, actually. That's actually a very beautiful view, the lovely branches of this tree here. And this gorgeous pathway that we've walked many times together. And just also, I guess we need discernment with this quality of acceptance, because some things do need to be resisted. The taking away of our liberty in particular ways definitely needs resisting. But some things, what is that saying? To accept the things we cannot change, to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So let's watch the Father as he heads towards his family there. And sending you love from here at Findhorn and in Forest. Grateful for life. And keep the oil of love opening hearts everywhere. Blessings on you. Mwah. Love from me here. Next week we'll have comments. Bye.